Guys, this is Grace and welcome to Use Those Scraps video number 3. I'm starting off with this piece of black cardstock. As you can see, I had cut out some letters from the inside of that, and I specifically did that because I was thinking in my mind that even though I'm needing that cardstock to cut out those specific colors, that I can still use the other parts of that as my background, because I usually do this where the only really part of the background that you see is the outer edge, and usually I gut the inside of it, but because I'd cut out letters from the inside already, I'm not going to gut that. There is a little part of the black cardstock that has a rip. I don't know if you can tell that. It was in the left and now it's on the bottom. And at first I was thinking that maybe I shouldn't use this because it has that rip, but you know what? It is what it is. And at the end of the day, that's not really going to be a big deal for whoever's going to be looking at this layout. So I'm not going to worry about it. I am working with three by four photos. They're all vertical photos of me and my son. We went on a walk. It was a 3 mile walk back and forth to our house to a duck pond. There's a duck pond that's about 3.5 miles from where we live. And so we would walk. And of course, he couldn't really do the whole thing all like, with the pace of the way I do it. And so we would take breaks. And this was one of the breaks where I just was taking some basically selfies and pictures of him. This was also done in 2020 during the time where we had a stay-at-home order and all of the kids went on a virtual schooling, and so we were just taking breaks from our school work, and we were taking our exercise basically. So one of my focuses, or the main focus, I should say, of this layout is to use my scraps for creating big quote titles. I've seen this before. I think Paige Evans has done it. And usually she would like cut different letters from different papers and then put them together. I did kind of the same thing, but I kept it with just 3 different kinds of paper, 2 cardstock, and then 1 pattern paper. I'm not, I don't want to say I don't like busy layouts because sometimes I do, but I just felt like for the quote to stand out a little bit more, that they needed to not be too busy. So I had cut all of these letters in different fonts and different sizes through my Silhouette Cameo machine. And as I pulled out all of the positives, I put them in this plastic container because some of them are really tiny. Now, one of the things that I'm going to do, because as you can see, part of the quote, or one big part of the quote, is these small grayish letters. And so in order for me to make sure that I maintain the spacing right, especially with the words and you know the spaces between the different words, that I would keep the negative part of it and just kind of nestle in the positive as I glue it, so that when I pull out that negative, all you're going to see is the positive letters and they're all spaced properly. I hope that makes sense. One of the things that I didn't anticipate was as I was putting the letters on my background piece, it wasn't standing out, and so I decided to add some vellum. Another thing that I felt like it needed was just some little drops of black, and I'm not really good at that, like I mean, there are different kinds of splatter, but that, you know what I'm saying, that splatter where you just kind of drop the ink onto the paper. I'm not really good at that. As you can see, none of it is working, but it is what it is. So I'm just gonna keep that as let that stay, sorry, let that dry for a little bit before I work on the rest of the things. Okay, so how while that is drying, I'm going to start adhering my letters, and I've done the bottom part, the bottom 2 lines of it. And another thing that I've done to make it easy for me was I ran all of these little letters through my Xyron machine, and this is basically a small sticker maker where it adds adhesive to the back of whatever element that you make it run through. So I really like this for these kinds of tedious jobs. And as you can see, it makes it really easy to put those letters on. And my title is basically, or the quote that I got is basically, wilderness is not a luxury, but a necessity of the human spirit. And I felt that that really was appropriate for this particular layout because, like I said, this was during COVID time, and it was just a, that's really when I, it honed down on me that the, well, maybe I shouldn't say all people, but for me specifically, I needed to have that time outside. I needed the sunshine. I needed to be in, whether that's just a walk in a trail next to my house, or really just, hiking, whatever it is. I really need to be outside. I can't be inside my home 24/7 all day, every day, and things like that. So for me, I felt like this particular quote really stood out for that specific time and also for this activity that I'm doing. And I really liked how this quote turned out. I just have to make sure that I'm careful when I'm peeling all these items. I did decide to not do the small dot for the is on um, my sticker maker, my Xyron sticker maker, because it was just too tiny. It didn't even want to go through the little thing there. Anyways, so now I am going to adhere the letters for the word wilderness. And this is just from a pattern paper that's a striped, that has some browns and greens, like nature type of colors. So that's what I'm going to do here. And another thing, I mean, you've seen me use this mat that I'm using for all of my layouts. This is basically the mat that I use on top of my table, and I love this mat because of the lines. I use it for like counting, like if I really wanted to know what the size of my papers are really quick, instead of getting a ruler, I can just measure it through here. And then for this one, it acts as like a ruler, right? That I can create some lines and follow those lines as I am building my letters here. So now part of my title is done. I'm not going to do the first and the last letter of the word wilderness because that's going to be adhered to the paper itself. Now this is kind of where I made a mistake. I wasn't really thinking, I know vellum is, see-through, but I thought that, well, if I just put my adhesive through the letters, that on behind the letters, that it wouldn't show much, but it still did. Now, one of the things that I noticed with the middle letters was that it wasn't showing very well, and so I needed something to go behind that. And I had some more of those papers that I used for the matting of the photos, and that's what I'm going to use. And I'm just going to tuck that behind the words just to make it stand out. And I specifically measured it so that all it's gonna back is the those small letters. And this is where you can see that when I added the ATG gun adhesive to this, you're gonna see it through the paper. But it's okay. I'm not going to worry about it too much. I just know that when I was photographing it, you can really see the adhesive very prominently. At least I notices it. I noticed it. And so I'm going to put that kind of in the top center of my layout, and then my photos will be on the bottom. And then of course I have some journaling to go with it, and I'm going to put that on the bottom of the photo collage, and then just do a little bit more embellishing here and there. I did pull out I don't know if you can tell, but on the bottom left of the video there are some die cut pieces that I had pulled out, and I just pulled them out. They're kind of random, but I thought that they will work well with this particular documenting, and I got that one from my die cut book. If you have not seen my die cut book, make sure that you check out my, I think it's like the storage playlist, where I did a series where I was kind of redoing all of the storage systems of my different products in my scrap room. So make sure you check that out in my playlist section if you have not already done so. Now, one of the ways that I could adhere these mini die cuts on my die cut book is with some removable adhesive, sometimes removable glue dots, and so I'm just peeling them off before I adhere them to my layout, so that I can use my permanent adhesive to make that stick to the layout. Anyways, that is my page today. I hope that you guys like this video. I hope that you're getting some great ideas on how to use your scraps. And if you are playing along, make sure that you tag me. I'm not very good at posting on social media, but I have an Instagram account, so you can tag me there if you would like to do so, or you can always comment here on YouTube, and I'll make sure to check out the link if you have one. If you have any questions, make sure that you leave that in the comment section below, and I hope that you are having a great day. If you like these videos, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. I will have some close-up shots at the end of this video, so I will see you on video number 4. Bye now.